Hello everyone, my name is Ibukun Awosika. I really wish more than anything else that I'm in Kigali with you. Apart from the beauty of the town, it would have been my pleasure to be part of the energy of what this conference represents. But unfortunately, with the best effort from Claire's team and mine, I couldn't physically get in there today. So I do apologize for doing this virtually. But I hope that we're still able to glean some knowledge from both sides that will help in the advancement of what this whole project is about. We're talking about women in business, equal opportunity, endless possibilities. Now, that sounds like one of those topics of women challenging the situation. However, I've been a business person for the last 35 years. Both from building my own business from my 20s and being engaged actively at the highest level in the corporate world. I understand the value that a society that appreciates the value of the assets that it has in women, the value that it creates for itself. Statistics, if you have a population that is almost 50-50, male and female, as a business person, I know it's a bad business idea to lock down 50% of my asset without taking the most value from that asset. If I do not, I obviously undermine my own performance. I limit my ability to maximize the possibilities for myself simply because I'm not maximizing the assets that I have. And this is what the issue of gender is. It's not just a gender issue about women. It's an economic issue about making the right business decision and creating the right opportunity for both nations and organizations. From primary school to secondary school to university level, girls perform actively, competitively, engage with their male counterparts at equal or exceeding levels in some cases. I've been a graduation speaker at multiple graduations of universities, and I've seen how many of the awards went to the girls. But that's not the point. I'm a mother of all boys. So it's not about the gender, and I'm married to an amazing man. So this is all about making the most of our asset, both male and female. Now, we need to think about the factors that tend to then limit our ability to maximize those assets for our nations and for our organizations. When the girls get into the workplace, they compete effectively with the boys at the entry level. So you find the boys and the girls competing because at that point, up to middle management level, we're measuring their merit, their ability to deliver processes and assignments and all of that. The girls measure up very well. But once we get to the middle, going to executive level, life begins to happen. And the kind of considerations that we apply in making the decisions for who goes further begins to put the women at a disadvantage in many ways. First, most of the girls are then at childbearing age or at the age where they're nurturing their children. So they're natural factors of their responsibilities that, based on how we make assessment, gets in the way. There's also the political issue, because at that point, the decision-making process somehow has not worked most favorably for women because there are systems. There are systems, and this is part of why I have spent the last number of years, based on the places I have sat, the opportunities that I have had, the experiences I have gathered. I have realized that there are three critical things that we must do in order to make women able to compete effectively, whether it's as entrepreneurs or as corporate executives, to the highest level. First, there is knowledge. Girls don't have a problem having the knowledge, but generally, it is technical knowledge. Now, there's a need for additional knowledge that facilitates and empowers the women to be able to compete in a more political environment that the corporate organizations or that our political system becomes once you advance to certain stages. And with that in mind, I have set certain programs to help teach and encourage women based on the things I have learned, having had the opportunity to sit at the highest level in certain places. 2, there is power. Power is about network. Women have power, but they tend to have power in silos. Somehow, we haven't managed to be as effective and efficient as our male counterparts have been in being able to connect their individual powers in order to create a superpower that supports every man upwards. As women, we need to find how to link all our silos powers together in order to create superpower that then supports as many women as want and desire to sit at the highest level in certain places to support them to get there. There's some practical things that I have done in my work. There's a program that I run that's called the 360 Executive. My cohorts are small. I run cohorts of anything between 10 to 15, maximum 20 women in a cohort. We spend 9 hours together just one day. We reset our mind, our thinking, and our approach. We learn certain things that are critical to how we approach our decision making and our opportunity taking. And thereafter, I commit to the hand of each cohort the responsibility to build a sisterhood for the support of one another in order to be able to get to the highest level. They become responsible for each other. And I've seen amazing results in running this program across different countries around the world. It's been great to see some of the amazing testimonials and the achievements of these women, how they have been able to support each other because they no longer have to run alone. They soon realize that there's great power in their connected power. But this is something men have used successfully for a long time, and nothing makes it difficult or impossible for the girls to do the same. The challenge is, if we do not apply such principles and support systems, and we only have a few women get through, we will always have those women, we'll always make those women vulnerable because we don't have a critical mass of women in leadership that can facilitate, support, and change opinion at tables. What I realized from all the places I've sat is the men are not necessarily working against the women, but what they don't understand, they don't understand. And you need both views to complete any table in order to make the best decision that will support and facilitate opportunities and possibilities for women without limiting them. And it's also about the mindset of the women. It's about our approach to life. It's about how we look at issues and consider matters, how we're able to be more open-minded and have a more fulfilled life, and how we're more engaging and courageous at taking opportunities that seem to be bigger than the girls. Because, you know, boys take opportunities that are bigger than them. I mean, it's easy to see many times that the guy is taking on a challenge. But as women, we tend to want to be perfect before we take the job. By the time we're perfect for a job, we've already outgrown the job. So it's part of how we create that network. One of my most satisfying projects that I have, it's a conference that I've hosted twice now in Dubai, is women of Afro descent from across Africa and across the world coming together once a year for a few days in Dubai, talking about some of the things that I have listed being the goal of it. You know, how do we have knowledge? How do we have power? And how do we have fun? How do we bring all those three together to empower and equip every woman that wants to go somewhere on how to go somewhere? And how do we ensure that she doesn't have to go somewhere by herself? How do we facilitate the opportunities of what she needs? Does she need funding? How do we prepare her to be qualified to receive the kind of funding that is required for her to grow her business? Does she need new opportunities in her career? How do we connect people in order to be able to draw people along into different opportunities that they see? Does she want to go into politics? How does she get the kind of support that she needs from other women and men without having to compromise herself in order to do that? One thing I know from my experience is so many women are super qualified for so many things that they have not even been able to take those opportunities yet. But the more we facilitate and create an environment, an enabling environment that allows the women to compete, that allows the women to be part of the decision-making process, that allows the women to be part of designing the processes so that they can take in factors that are exclusively gender sensitive into the process of the that is being built. The more we do that, the better for our companies, the better for our countries, because we're using the best of our people, whether they are male or female. We're creating opportunities and possibilities for all our citizens to add value to what we become as a nation or as a company. And every time you give a girl the opportunity to use her talent, one thing I know is rarely are you disappointed, because she's committed, she's diligent, she's loyal, she's reliable, she has tenacity, she's able to survive things. She's a community builder, which makes her a better team leader in many ways. And every time she gets the opportunity to use those talents to build for nations or to build for companies, you can only be sure that you will be glad that you did. I wish I'm at the conference so the conversation can continue, and so I could have heard your views and benefited from yours in our engagement. But unfortunately, I'm not. I hope my few thoughts add to the conversation that we have today. Thank you. Have a great conference.